Anyway, I guess the reason why I really wanted this video is it kind of just like sparked off from Amber's video, which is from Fairly Local Vegan. If you don't watch her, she's amazing. Along the lines of her video, she basically just said it's impossible to be 100% perfect because she's pretty much zero waste, but it's impossible to be zero waste. She has some allergies and she has to buy like some foods in bags, and also her and her husband, well, more her husband I think she said, that likes to like splurge out with like vegan junk food, which most vegan junk food is wrapped in plastic. So she goes on basically saying that it's impossible or very hard to be 100% perfect, and a lot of people still pick on her, which if you watch her, she's like literally like so vegan and like so pretty much zero waste, and people still pick on her for like not being 100%, because I mean, being low waste is a part of being veganism. You are saving the environment, which is saving animals, so it kind of does go hand in hand. I know it's not the technical definition, but everyone has their own definition, such as like say palm oil. Some people think if you consume palm oil you're not vegan, although palm oil technically is vegan, but it is contributing to the destruction to the planet and to animals, so therefore people don't view it as vegan. So I guess that's pretty much where I'm going with this video, is that it's just so hard to be 100%. There's always going to be someone who sees veganism or thinks they're more superior in veganism, like you consume palm oil, you're not vegan enough. You drive a car that has leather in it, you're not vegan enough. You take medication to some vegans, that's still not vegan enough. If you still have old stuff that you had from previous to going vegan, that's not vegan enough. Like, there's just so many little factors that vegans attack other vegans for, and I'm just like not about it, and I'm so done with it. I have personally been judged for not being vegan enough for not stopping consuming palm oil, which I actively avoid it if I can. If I know there's like an option that has no palm oil, I'll take that option. But I still get attacked randomly for consuming a good old Oreo because it has palm oil in it. And yeah.
Everywhere you go, life is a struggle. I don't think you get to choose whether or not your life is going to be a struggle. I don't think you get to choose whether or not you're going to struggle. What you get to choose, to some limited extent, is how meaningful or how meaningless that struggle is going to be. When you tell me being vegan is a struggle, when you tell me interacting with other vegans in the movement or other aspiring vegan activists is a struggle, believe me, I feel you. I agree. Being vegan is a struggle, depending on where you live. It goes from hard to headache inducing. It can be really tough. It can be tough. If you live in downtown Los Angeles and you have an infinite budget, it could be easy. For a lot of us, being vegan is a struggle. Living with, cooperating with, collaborating with, getting organized with other vegans, even just tolerating the company of other vegans. Believe me, I sympathize. It's a struggle. The counter argument that I'm going to offer here is that it's a meaningful struggle, that it's worth doing. Now, you know, if you were complaining about how tough it is to be a comic book collector, and you go to these conferences with other comic book collectors, and you're getting all this negativity and, you know, you have all this conflict, I might say to you, well, look, maybe you should quit comic book collecting. Maybe, you know, the game is not worth the candle, as we say in French. Met a guy in Southeast Asia. He was a well-known author, researcher, anthropologist. And I asked him, why doesn't he spend more time doing research in Cambodia? He was known for work in China, Laos, Thailand, Vietnam, everywhere except Cambodia. I said, when you think about it, these issues you're interested in researching, really Cambodia is the place you should be doing research. You know what he told me? He said he didn't like doing research in Cambodia because he had long hair and tattoos. And it wasn't even that he was really complaining that people insulted him or had, like, you know, attacked him for having long hair and tattoos. He just described, like verbatim, acting out, Cambodians coming up to him and asking him, like, you're a man, why do you have long hair? Like, why do you do that? Asking him, why did you get these tattoos? And like, why do you let them be seen publicly? Obviously, this is something that's changing in Cambodia. Within 10, 20 years, Cambodia has become a lot more exposed to the outside world, a lot more exposed to tattoos and long hair. But this is, you know, reflecting a kind of bumpkin, backwards, isolated Cambodia that just emerged from the war and the tyranny of communism and all this other stuff. He was encountering these kinds of attitudes, not even necessarily hostile, just unsympathetic and surprised and uncomprehending. So he said he didn't want to deal with Cambodia. This is what I said back to him. Do you really think you'd be treated better in Cambodia if you had a shaved bald head? Exactly what you just said to me. The conversation you just described. Do you think that a foreigner with a shaved head wouldn't in the same way have Cambodian people coming up to him in the same kind of situation and asking, why did you shave your head? Why did you do I'd done research in Cambodia. I was in a position to speak on that from experience. The point is here, I was saying to him, either way, it's a struggle. Doesn't matter if you have long hair or if you shave your head. If you're going to go out and do anthropological research in remote villages, if you're going to work with poverty-stricken people who probably don't even have a primary school education, backward, bumpkin, disadvantaged people in Cambodia, if that's where you want to do your research or humanitarian work or whatever it is you're going to do, it's going to be a struggle, and people are going to confront you about these things one way or another. What you've got to decide is this meaningful or is this meaningless? And I'd be the first to admit, you know what? If this is what you want to do with your life, don't get the tattoos. Or if you got the tattoos, cover them up. Wear long sleeves or something. And if you got long hair and you really want to, you know what? Maybe you should look around the village in Cambodia. Maybe you got to get the same kind of haircut everyone else has in that village in Cambodia. I'm the last person to say it's meaningful for you to go and do cosplay or ritz it up and wear the same outfit that you'd wear to a nightclub in New York City when you're doing research in Cambodia. And that really was this guy's problem. He was dressed up the way he thought was cool to pick up chicks in California or New York when he was doing field research as an anthropologist in Southeast Asia. It was ridiculous. Okay? You don't get to choose. But he was imagining that if he just didn't have long hair, he wouldn't have these problems. No. If you had a different haircut, you wouldn't even have different problems. You'd have the same problem, just with a different haircut. Okay? If you think life as a vegan is a struggle, you're right. Guess what? If you switch up the terms and start calling yourself a reducitarian or plant-based, it's the same struggle, different haircut.
I mean, really, people like to disrespect my crew, but the fact is that you know my name and I don't know you.